Okay, let's try a couple more just for practice, okay? Look at the bottom here of the handout. Don't forget to lock the barn behind you so the animals don't get out, Farmer Green told his new farmhand Danny. Danny nodded and went to work. He fed all of the animals and then he cleaned the stables. It was hard work, but Danny was happy to have a job. At first, Farmer Green watched him carefully, but gradually he gave Danny some distance, showing him his trust. Danny was exhausted from a hard day's work. He wiped the sweat from his brow and proceeded to exit the barn. He left the lock in a pile of hay by the shovels and shut the door behind himself. He walked away from the unlocked door. Danny was off to see Farmer Green to find out his next task. Okay, so Farmer Green had told him, don't forget to lock the door so the animals don't get out. But what happens when Danny leaves? He's got a good reason. He's going to go ask Farmer Green what to do next. But he leaves the lock in the barn, doesn't lock the door, and he goes. So, based on the details in this passage, what's the most logical next thing that would happen in this story? So probably the animals are going to get out, and maybe even Farmer Green is going to fire him, right? We don't know for sure. But definitely those animals are going to get out, or something bad is going to happen related to the animals not staying in the barn. Now, as we said, in an actual story or in a movie or a show of some kind, all kinds of things could happen next, right? But the question on a reading comprehension test, what the test writers are trying to do is make sure we read well enough to understand all those details we were given and think based on those details, what is the next logical thing that could happen in this story? Okay? All right, let's try one more. Next one. Kenya was pumped up about the dance competition. She was driving there in her mom's car and taking her teammates, Dana and Jenna. It was a 4-hour car ride. They were listening to the new Mountain Boys album, and the girls were singing along to all of the choruses, replaying the songs that they liked multiple times. They were having so much fun cruising down the highway and singing that Kenya didn't even notice the needle on her fuel gauge drop below the E line. Dana pressed the back button to replay their favorite song, My Heart Takes Off Its Cowboy Hat for You. As the song began playing, the car's engine began sputtering. So it began not running smoothly. So, based on the clues here, based on the details in this passage, what's the next thing that's going to happen? Obviously, they're going to run out of gas. All kinds of things could happen after that, But the next thing that's going to happen based on these clues is they're going to run out of gas. All kinds of things could happen in a story, right? As a writer, I could make anything I wanted to happen next. But on a reading comprehension test, we are being asked, based on what we read so far, what's the next logical thing to happen? As I said, the test writers want us to show that we understand all the details that we read and can logically decide what comes next. Okay? All right. There's one more there you can practice if you like. Ask me during class on chat or on the online lesson if you have any questions. And thank you very much.